Hey y'all, welcome to the channel. My name is Cody, and I'm a serial entrepreneur who's worked my way up from foster care to becoming a millionaire. On this channel, I discuss a wide array of topics surrounding productivity, mindset, success, happiness, and much more. Let's get into this week's video. Today is the first video in a short series about my mindset room, which is a room I've created as a means to improve my overall happiness and well-being. There are three really cool things I want to showcase, including my infrared sauna, cold plunge, and hot soak tub. I'll explain a little bit about the science and benefits behind each, as well as how I fit each of them into my daily routine. The first thing you'll see when you walk into my mindset room is my infrared sauna from Sunlighten. The model is called the Impulse Believe, and it has a 2-person capacity. Although evidence exists showing that the Finns were using smoke saunas as far back as 2,000 years ago, the modern infrared sauna was invented in Japan and first came to the US in the 1980s. The difference between an infrared sauna and a traditional sauna is that the infrared sauna creates heat from light, so it's heating your body rather than the air around it. This can be much more comfortable while still providing the same benefits as a traditional sauna, albeit requiring that you spend more time in the sauna than you otherwise might. Throughout history, saunas have played a role in nearly every culture around the world, whether it be the Turkish steam baths, Native American sweat lodges, or the Russian banya, just to name a few. The historical popularity of saunas has recently been proven with today's science, showing a range of health benefits that can help heal, detoxify, and alleviate stress in the body. Let's take a deeper look at the difference between a traditional sauna and an infrared sauna. Traditional saunas are also referred to as dry saunas and are typically seen in spas, gyms, and hotels. They're made from wood and are often likened to tiny log cabins, while infrared saunas usually have a similar appearance, but as I mentioned before, these two types of saunas differ in the way that they produce heat. Traditional saunas work in a similar way to a wood-burning stove, meaning they have to use a heater to heat the air and the user. A single electric heater is filled with rocks, and water is then poured over the heated rocks, thereby creating hot steam. The steam raises the humidity within the unit and subsequently heats the entire sauna's interior. Infrared saunas, on the other hand, emit infrared radiation, or light, which is invisible to the human eye and is experienced as heat. These wavelengths of infrared light directly penetrate the skin, heating your body directly without significantly heating up the air. The temperature in the traditional sauna typically ranges from 158 to 212 degrees Fahrenheit, with an optimal temperature range between 176 to 194. It takes about 30 to 40 minutes for a traditional sauna to heat up to operating temperature, since infrared saunas heat the body directly rather than heating the air. They operate at a lower temperature, which is usually around 113 and 140 degrees. They can get up to an optimal temperature in 10 to 15 minutes, which is typically a lot quicker than in a traditional sauna. The other thing to consider is the cost to buy and operate. For instance, depending on the size of the unit, an entry-level infrared sauna will set you back around $2,000, whereas a mid-range unit will cost anywhere between $5,000 to $10,000, and a premium model in upwards of $10,000. So let's compare that to a traditional sauna, which will set you back from anywhere between $4,000 to $7,500 for an entry-level unit, and a mid-range will cost between $10,000 to $15,000, and a premium in upwards of $15,000. Infrared saunas also have a lower operating cost because they require less energy to run. In general, the cost to buy and run an infrared sauna is about 25% of a traditional sauna. The next question you might have is, well, what makes spending thousands of dollars on an infrared sauna worth it? Well, let's take a look at the science and benefits behind each. The heat produced from saunas is known to generate oxidative stress within the body at low levels that help the body better deal with these stressors after you've left the sauna. The heat exposure triggers the production of what are referred to as heat shock proteins, which effectively work to correct and restore damaged cells in the body. Too much oxidative stress can damage tissues and immune cells, which reduces your ability to fight infection. The sauna generates just enough stress in the body to increase your cell's antioxidant capacity, which reduces your risk of getting sick, and it can improve your mood, your metabolism, and much more. It's similar to, say, allergy immunotherapy or getting the yearly flu vaccine. Small amounts of stress on the body actually has protective benefits. Although more research needs to be done, there is significant evidence out there that suggests that sauna use is associated with a decreased risk of sudden cardiac death. It means that people who use their saunas 2 to 3 times per week were 22% less likely to experience sudden cardiac death than those who only use them once per week. For those that use their sauna 4 to 7 times a week, that percentage increased to 63% less likely to experience sudden cardiac death, and they were 50% less likely to die from cardiovascular disease than those who only use their saunas once per week. This makes sense when you consider that a sauna mimics the effects of exercise, and it's been shown in some studies to be as beneficial as moderate-paced walking. It's also an excellent post-workout option that helps to dilate muscles and alleviate any aches or discomfort from muscular pain. In fact, there is a great talk on YouTube by Dr. Rhonda Patrick, who is widely known as a leading expert on the benefits of heat and cold therapy. You can find her link to the talk in the description below. So, there are quite a few sauna options on the market. The first sauna I had while waiting for my Sunlighten was actually a personal sauna that cost just about $140 on Amazon. It generated steam while you sat covered up in a little chair. But since your head actually sits outside the covered part, you never really experience enough sweat or any kind of discomfort, which is the feeling that you actually want to get when using a sauna. It just never got quite hot enough. I knew I wanted to upgrade from that, and as I did my research into which one to buy, I learned to pay attention to how hot the sauna could get and what is a sauna's EMF rating. One of the benefits touted about infrared saunas is that you don't need them to get as hot because they are heating your body directly. When they say it doesn't get as hot as a traditional sauna, what they mean is you have to stay in the sauna longer to receive the same benefit you would otherwise get from a traditional sauna because it will take longer to sweat. You'll want to find an infrared sauna that heats at least to 140 degrees. The other potential concern is that infrared saunas emit infrared waves, which are widely regarded to be safe. However, they do produce EMF radiation as a byproduct of the heating. The truth is, all electronic products emit EMF radiation to one degree or another. There was a health concern many years ago about the increased likelihood of developing cancer if you keep your phone in your pocket all day. As long as the sauna isn't producing a crazy high amount of EMF, they're generally safe. The features of the Sunlighten sauna that help to separate it from their competitors include the built-in 10.1-inch Android tablet that's fully functional and allows you to download any app from the Android store. It's great for watching YouTube, Netflix, or Amazon Prime. In theory, though, you could just bring an iPad or phone into the sauna with you, but you can risk damaging the sensitive electronics. I've never had the built-in Android tablet crash on me, but as the sauna heats up, it tends to get slower and slower, sometimes taking even a few seconds to react after a button press. In my case, I had an empty wall across from the sauna, so I simply installed a 55-inch Samsung TV that has various apps built in. The TV is able to connect to the premium sound system built inside the sauna via Bluetooth, and it works amazingly well. Sunlighten has a list of what they call their customized health programs, and they're labeled with detoxification, muscle recovery, anti-aging, relaxation, and more. This seems kind of gimmicky to me, and I only ever use the custom program selection, and I turn the heat all the way up. They also advertise their saunas as having chromotherapy, which based on the lack of scientific evidence is something I'd put in the same category as, say, chakras. The theory is that every color hue has a unique vibrational frequency and thus is associated with different healing properties from mood to medical. Yellow light is supposed to stimulate the immune system, while purple light has a calming effect. I enjoy the color changing lights, but when I use the sauna, I largely just put it on a dim red light so I can watch the TV through the glass door. One of the negative things about the M-Pulse model is that the bottom of the sauna stays relatively cool since hot air rises and there is no infrared heater on the bottom. I was told by one of their sales reps that it wasn't something I could add to my two-person model, but it is available as an upgrade to the larger saunas that they offer. The other issue is regarding scheduling. I was told by their sales rep that they would be rolling out app access within 6 months, but they're just now starting to roll out the beta web access a little over a year later. short of, say, turning it on remotely, he said I could set up a schedule on the tablet in the sauna. So naturally, when I bought it, I thought I could just set it to a recurring schedule to turn on, say, every Monday at 10 a.m., for instance. Well, after receiving the sauna, it turns out that the built-in scheduling function requires you to navigate a clunky UI only to be able to schedule it on a specific date with no ability to make it reoccurring. Now, perhaps there's somebody out there that sits down once a week or month and schedules out their sessions manually, but I'm certainly not one of those people. Regardless, the web app does seem to work, and it allows me to turn on the sauna remotely. They don't, as of when this video is posted, have a mobile app, but fun fact, you can convert any web page in Safari to an app bookmark on your phone by navigating to the web page, clicking the share button, and clicking the add to home screen button on the submenu. So it's a nice little shortcut. So, should I get an infrared sauna to solve whatever health ailment? The scientific benefits of any kind of sauna, whether traditional or infrared, are widely accepted across the scientific community, albeit to varying degrees, depending on the claims being made. It probably won't cure cancer, but it could certainly help in reducing cancer growth or any number of maladies. It should be said, however, that for many of these maladies, there isn't direct scientific evidence to support the claims, but there is strong corollary evidence. For example, there was a study out of Japan in which participants suffering from chronic heart failure spent 15 minutes in a 140 degree Fahrenheit infrared dry sauna, and then they were kept in blankets to keep warm. A 5-year follow-up showed heart failure or death occurred in about 70% of the control group who didn't receive the session, whereas only 30% died who did undergo the therapy. And again, these are people who had a chronic heart condition. The leading theory is that warmth from the infrared sauna helped blood vessels to relax, which facilitated the flow of blood from the heart to other organs. In a study from 2013, they concluded that the ideal cardiovascular health is inversely associated with cancer risk. So you could make the conclusion that infrared saunas can solve any number of health issues, but you should take it with a grain of salt and definitely do your own research. This is still a widely discussed debate, but many who are part of the sauna community don't believe an infrared sauna is a real sauna. I think an appropriate analogy is the debate over whether you can call oat milk or almond milk milk. There have been some scientific studies with both types of saunas, but the large majority of scientific studies touting the benefits of sauna usage were actually done by using infrared saunas. As to why, I'm not sure, but as to whether one is better over another, I think it comes down to more of a personal preference. In fact, I actually have a traditional barrel sauna by Renew Therapy in my backyard, but I find myself using the infrared sauna more often because it heats up much quicker. And with the big TV and an Xbox a few feet away, I practically have unlimited entertainment value. For me personally, this makes up for the fact that you still have to spend more time in an infrared sauna than a traditional sauna to receive the same benefits. According to Dr. Rhonda Patrick, the heat shock proteins being released are one of the primary benefits of sauna usage, and they get released when you start to feel so hot that you actually want to leave the sauna. And it takes longer to get to this point with an infrared sauna, so the answer to the question of buying an infrared or traditional might come down to convenience, maintenance, and time commitment as primary factors you should consider when answering this question for yourself. In conclusion, having a sauna is shown to have a wide range of health benefits. Now, short of having a medical condition that would necessitate a doctor supervision, having a sauna can be a great tool to put in your toolbox to help you stay healthy and age gracefully. I'd love to hear your own thoughts, and if any of you have your own sauna routine that you found beneficial, please feel free to share. Thanks for watching, and if you like what you said, hit that subscribe button and get notified for future content, all dedicated to helping you live a happier, healthier, and more fulfilling life.